What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. I want to talk about Tim Bradley briefly because comments he made, I'm not shocked. Tim Bradley always says some outlandish shit. You know, he says a lot of things that I agree with, and he says a lot of things I don't agree with, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, even if it sounds like pure bullshit. But Tim Bradley said that pretty much, I'm telling you, Jaron Boots Ennis better stay away from Teofimo. He better stay away from him. I'm telling you, yo, y'all don't want him to lose. Y'all better keep him away from Teofimo. Now I had some people say to me they heard, and some of them said they think. So I don't know if they all heard this from the same source or they just come up with this. But basically, a point of Tim Bradley don't really mean what he's saying. He's just saying it because he really want somebody to punish Teofimo for all that racist stuff. And he's saying this to try to fuel up that fight so it actually happened and that Boots go in there and punish him. Okay. You have people that do that conspiracy theory shit and they really believe that that's the case, I guess. I don't believe that's the case. I don't know, and I really don't give a fuck. But I don't think that's the case. I think that's giving Tim too much credit in a direction that we don't even need to go in. For one, let me tell you how. And I can understand it's so outlandish. I could even see in this day and time why somebody could even think that that might be the case. But I think it's bullshit. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it's bullshit. One, Teofimo Lopez is the man that was just saying that Jaron Boots Ennis is looking like a sucker for not going up to 154 to fight Virgil Ortiz. Did he not say that? The best supposed to fight the best, right? Did he not complain about the cherry picking, about these fighters being spoiled, how they don't want to fight? Okay. Yeah, he's saying, hey, if y'all want to keep him undefeated, I'm telling you, keep him away from Teo. And he's, I'm telling you, remember, listen to what I'm telling you. Nah, I don't think it got nothing to do with none of that bullshit about him just being cerebral and saying these things to, he has a certain agenda that he wants to work against Teo. I don't think that has nothing to do with it. I just think he's sleeping on Boots. I think in his head, he thinks like Tim talks like he was really Floyd, like he was Pacquiao, like he talked like he was that, like he was on the same. No, we know what Tim was, we saw it, but that's the way he talked. He always talk about his how he did this and he did that, right? Okay, but we was watching Tim, like Tim, you make it sound like you were better than what you were. Here's the deal. For one, along with in that video he says. I mean, all that racist stuff, and but just keeping it strictly boxing. Yo, Teo, that boy sharp. He's sharp. Talk about his power and all that. Okay, his power. Well, he hit Barbosa with a lot of shots and couldn't drop Barbosa. He didn't knock him out. And you talking about his power, his focus, and how sharp he is. He didn't knock out Barbosa. He fights better when he fight the bigger names and all this stuff. Look, don't the motherfucker work for ESPN and Top Rank anyway? So, what do you really think he's going to say about TFL? And for a motherfucker to not, first of all, it doesn't matter whether you work for the same network or not. Tim Bradley, and this is why, too, all right, people overlook shit. One, he's not married to a black woman. Two, he the one told the story about how him and his son was in the car and got pulled over by cops. Remember how he said they're crying? I had to tell my son he got pulled over simply because we black. Okay. So you can come out your face and say that you really don't like Tank Davis at all. I hate that dude. I don't like him, right? You never said you really dislike or hate Ryan Garcia or Teo for all this racist shit. So I don't give a fuck working for ESPN, Top Rank, or whatever. If you got to bite your fucking tongue and pretend to like two racist motherfuckers, You got to sit here and bite your tongue to act like you okay with a motherfucker saying all the type of shit that he said, but you were crying talking about how you had to explain to your son that y'all got pulled over simply because of your skin color? And you're not married to a black woman anyway. I don't care about that. That's his personal business. What I'm saying is, it's obvious. He don't take our blackness as a black man so much as we do. Why? Because the thing that made tears come down his face was having to explain to his son something that he completely ignored. Okay? Because George Floyd wasn't pulled over and then let go. He was killed. Unjustly murdered by several cops, and his family had to see that shit on the news. And for this piece of shit, Ryan Garcia, to say all the shit he said, somehow that didn't trigger alert Tim Bradley. And if you heard all of that and sat there and kept your mouth shut the way you did, then that basically means you're cooning for these people. Why? Because if you're not a fucking coon, okay, you would not sit here and even pretend to like a motherfucker. You sound like these racist people that be like, I don't think black people got the right to tell us not to use the N-word. You know, you guys can call yourselves N-words all the time. Okay, so if that's what we gonna do, for that matter, I want to see you start calling white people crackers. I want to see you start calling Latino spics. I want to see you start calling Chinese people chinks. Yeah, I want to see you start doing all of that. Start calling Italians guineas. Start calling fucking Guyanese Indians coolies. And then say to them, hey, if you can make racial slurs to us, we can make it to you. He know he wouldn't do that shit. I don't believe nothing, no bullshit about he's doing this strategically. No, I believe he's just kissing ass for the network and kissing ass for fucking T.O. And trying to be the bigger one and let's put racism aside and just look at the fighter. Yeah, that's exactly what that's what the powers that be want you to do. Don't look at our wrong and judge us by that. You don't have the right to judge. You don't have the right to feel anything. What Ric Flair's to say, whether you like it or you don't like it, learn, my friend, to love it because it's the best thing going today. Yeah, that's exactly what racist motherfuckers want you to do. So, fuck all that goofy shit y'all talking about. Now, the fight itself, if it actually happens, let me tell y'all something. First of all, fuck T.O.'s so-called power. Then he's going up to 147 to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. If that be the case, if it actually happens. What will happen is more hypocrisy will be exposed. Now, I always say you never know what's going to happen fight night. But let me say this. Both guys come on top of their game plan. Boots beats the shit out of him. The only fucking reason why T.O., if he don't get knocked out, will be because he's going to go in there and run. But for the race fans, when he does it, y'all going to call it boxing. But it's running when it's somebody else, right? Basically, T.O. is a counterpuncher, and he likes to stay on the outside. For all of you motherfuckers that don't know shit about boxing, you need to shut the fuck up and start talking about bringing up other fights. First of all, I keep hearing y'all talk about, yo, but he the one that beat the man that beat all this. Yo, bro, first of all, he's bigger and stronger than Lomachenko. Loma didn't have a height and reach advantage. He didn't have a power advantage. You understand what I'm saying? So, like Tank Davis will, when he fight bigger, stronger dudes, he'll move a lot more. You know, lure them in, break them down, figure them out, and get them out of there. Lomachenko did that, with the exception to get him out of there and figure him out. When he started to catch on and learn how to time of his stuff, he started doing better in the second half of the fight. But it was a little bit too little too late. Okay? So he was able to fight Lomachenko that way. Do you think Barbosa's a better fighter than Lomachenko? And I'm pretty sure that answer is hell no. Okay then. So why was he not fighting Barbosa in the pocket? Why wasn't he walking Barbosa down? Okay. On the back foot against a bigger, stronger guy. You think he's going to go in there and try to walk down Jaron Boots Ennis? And if he tried, you think Boots is going to be on the back foot from this dude? No. See, if he goes in there and try to be brave and try to stand toe to toe, Boots is going to knock him the fuck out. Okay? If he goes in there, and I'll put some money on that with Tim Bradley, if he's so confident, I'll put some money on it. We're in the age of Cash App, bro. I'll put some money. He's not gonna stand there and fight him till if he does, that's his. And I hope he do. I really hope he does. But we know he's gonna go in there and go on the back foot. T.O. likes to counter punch and try to give you those little angles and those shots off the angle, trying to showboat. Jaron Boots Ennis is just gonna have to work behind that jab. He's gonna have to go in Thomas Hearns mode. Work behind that strong jab, that power jab, that 1-2. Back him up. When he's get on them ropes, he's going to slide and do all that time his shots. Don't be careless, but just pick that motherfucker apart. And then one thing about Teofimo Lopez, I think he gets knocked out or he gets completely outboxed because he's not throwing enough to land anything significant. Or even if it goes, he can end up getting a TKO, Boots, because one thing for sure, he starts connecting. This motherfucker gonna start bleeding. He gonna get bruised here. He gonna get cut here, cut here. He gonna be all red around his sword. Yeah, basically. So pretty much, of course, his bullshit race fans was, well, he dared to be great. He fought a bigger guy, and yeah. Well, bottom line, too bad, so sad. I don't think he outboxes Boots. Definitely, I don't care if he's on the back foot or trying to come forward. I believe Boots will win. If, like I say, he tries to get brave, he's getting knocked out. If Boots fights smart, don't come in and be careless and let this motherfucker land unnecessary shots on you. Stay behind that power jab, and when you come in, keep your head off that center line. Rip that motherfucker to his body when he's doing all that slipping moving. Don't even go for the hit. Go for the body. Hit that motherfucker in the shoulders. Hit that motherfucker. Make him understand you're here to fight. And keep that jab consistent. That's all. And keep working behind it. He wants to counter. And the most that y'all going to be able to say, if anything, is, oh, the fight wasn't all that action-packed. Why? Well, for the same reason y'all said Devin Haney versus Ramirez wasn't action-packed. Because one guy was moving and the other guy was just coming. But I don't see Boots coming in there just following him in and not doing anything. I feel like they're too smart for that. And pretty much, all of y'all that was talking about y'all in favor of that no running rule, I bet y'all will change your mind now on that shit, won't you? Because y'all know that that's exactly what T.O.'s going to do. But y'all are going to call that bullshit boxing. The more he engages, the more he throws punches, the more he's there to be hit as well. And hand speed, they're probably about even. Yeah, they're probably about even. Power, Boots. Smarts, ring IQ, not motherfucking T.O. Boots. And you see, if he's working that jab and he's working them shots right, and he's mixing it up properly to body, head, body, and not being repetitive, but just keeping T.O. to the point where he has to come in to land something. Because if he comes in and he's working behind that jab, he's not overcommitting, T.O.'s going to have a hard time landing shots. And basically, I feel like Boots will just tear this dude apart. Now, we'll see if the fight actually happens. I don't even give a fuck about all that. Honestly, I just want him to get hurt bad. I don't like that little motherfucker at all. Simple. I don't like nothing about him. But at the end of the day, I know what he's good at, and I know what he likes to do, and that's counterpunch. Like I said, give you these angles, land shots off, and try to entertain the fans. He ain't going to be able to stand there and play with Boots like that. So, that's all. He just needs to get hurt. But as far as the shit that Tim Bradley's talking about, man, whatever, man. This is Tim Bradley talking. Like I said, there's things he say I agree with, and the shit he says that I don't agree with. And like I said, come fight night, you never know what's going to happen. It's how they follow the game plan out. I mean, hell, every trainer should be able to see, the flaws, the weaknesses, the strengths, everything. But the fighter still has to go in and perform. I just feel like the truth is, Boots is just way better than Teofimo. Plain and simple. Hope the fight happened just so he get crushed. I just want to see him get beat the fuck up. Anyways, That's my take on it. And I'm not concerned about opinions. I mean, people gonna feel what they want, whether people agree with me or disagree with me. We gonna know come fight night. But at the end of the day, Boots ain't no ordinary dude. It's like the last dude was supposed to beat him. The last dude was supposed to be a real tough test, and he went in there and destroyed that guy. And fight by fight basis, people always want to take your worst performance and hold on to that. And even your worst performance don't mean it was a bad performance. And even when it is, Teo done had several bad performances. And that's where the excuse comes in. He fights better when he fights better competition. Okay, cool. I'm going to hold you to that. We going to see. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings here other people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.